Scrappy people. Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with day 13 of December Daily. And on day 13 of December Daily, my nephew had a baby. So I am going to be scrapbooking about my new great nibbling. And I decided that this page that I created in day 7 of my December Daily Prep would be a perfect page for this because look at all those cute hearts. The only problem is that it says family, which works, except I want to replace these letters with the letters of the baby's name. So I'm going to take I very carefully took these letters off, and I'm going to change out some of the icons and things to match a baby page a little bit better, but I'm just very carefully taking things off this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put alternating photos and journaling underneath these flaps, but I'm going to cover up this photo and I'm not going to actually put the photos under these flaps just for the privacy of my nephew and his family right now, because this is not my baby, and so I don't need to put "not my baby" all over the internet. Anyway, so here is where I'm starting. I've already sort of pried all of these letters off, and let's get started. So I honestly did not think ahead and plan this page for baby announcement, but how flippin' perfect is it, other than the fact that I put those family letters down? It's just so pretty. It's like it was made for a baby page. So I need to make my layout a little bit wider because it's going back on the back of this envelope that I created yesterday. And so I just decided to just straight stick it down on the envelope to make sure that it was the correct size. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to work on the back of this envelope, even though it is a bit lumpy, not a big deal. I decided to go with this plaid paper because I liked the pop of color that it gave. I really liked the subtlety of the gray and white plaid, but I just needed a little bit more color to just to add to it on that page. But I am going to mat this photo in the gingham, the gray gingham, making sure to keep those faces covered. It's not something I often do, but I am trying to respect this baby that is not mine and my nephew. Making sure that I don't put anyone out there that is not wanting to be out there, but I did want to document my first great nibbling. Insane. I cannot believe we are this old. I watched this child be born, and now his child is born, and it's just crazy how life just happens, right? It feels like just yesterday I was in his delivery room, and now I unfortunately can't be anywhere near his delivery room for his baby because he is still across the country. Sadly, we moved away from our family, but I get to live vicariously through the photos that my sister sends me, and eventually I will get to meet the baby. So I matted that journal card behind the photo, and I thought it would be kind of cool to notch out the corners to make it a little bit more interesting, since it is just essentially a big white journal card. And then when I did that, I put it down on top of this, and it was so cute, but it went edge to edge. So I decided to take it all apart, trim it up, and then put it back together so that it went on that card. And I love the way that gave it a nice warm matte, because there's so much warm color on the other side of the page with those pink hearts that I wanted to bring some of it in from the other side, especially since the majority of the embellishments that I'm going to be using are cool colored. So now I've got it where I want it to be. I can stick it all down on the page. It's feeling a little bit lopsided, and that's okay. I'm going to put this life documented acrylic from Color Cast Designs down, and Also, that matching heart I wanted to add to the title, and unfortunately this Citrus Twist Alphabet is the exact perfect color to go with that acrylic piece did not have the letters that I needed anymore, so I went with my trusty white foam alphabet instead. I would have loved to have used that teal one, but obviously I've used it a lot already, so I decided to go with a new life documented. I was gonna maybe do a fresh life documented, but it sounded weird. It sounded a little bit like a loaf of bread. So we're going to go with a new life documented. And that was the perfect way to tie that life documented into the theme of the page. And I only get one shot to put these foam stickers down because they're going directly on the photo. So I really carefully did that. I'm feeling like this is, like I said, a little bit lopsided. So I'm going to add a little bit more to that cluster, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in this other Citrus Twist alphabet for the letters that I took off, putting the baby's name down, and I need to fill in some spaces because I did take off some embellishments that didn't really make sense with the theme. Bundled Up still does, but I need to add in a few more things, so I'm going to be doing that before I hop back over to the other side. I needed to trim this down. Perfect. Okay, so I have all these hearts that I don't really want to cover up too much, but I do, like, they are repetitive, so I can cover them up a little bit, but I didn't really have anything in my stash that would work with this. So I decided I did have this word bit, so I decided to add it across these 4 squares because I thought that that would take up a nice amount of room. It also adds a little bit more of that peachy pink color that will work. Sorry for my head and my crazy hair. I have been so sick. I am not doing anything with my hair, but don't let that fool you. I don't do anything with my hair on a daily basis anyway. So I'm just giving you an excuse. It's not exactly true. I probably would look like that even if I wasn't sick. So I'm just cutting it, making sure that it fits in each one of these squares. But, you know, all the squares can open up. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to just cut a nice slit so that it folds well. And again, I'm going to be putting photos underneath these flaps as well as some journaling. So I'll alternate. I'm not going to put the photos under there on camera because obviously I'm trying not to show off the baby. But I will off camera, and you'll see kind of like a little flash of them on the still images at the end. I wanted to add in a little bit more gold because I did use that gold 13 from the foiled numbers that I created from the Candy Coated Christmas collection last year, so I needed to add in some more gold. I wanted to add some to the other side of the page too, but it just never seemed to work out. That's okay. I'm going to add these gold stars over here, give it a little bit of a flash. I did put this one on here as well, but I didn't like it in the end, so I ended up taking it off. And I decided that a present would work well with the theme, and it's green, and there's greenish paper on the outside edge of the layout, so it worked. It like matched well enough. I'm gonna start sticking things down, making sure that that stays there. I am going to end up using that tag, so I'll cover up its face with something else soon, but you know, it's coming together real well. I need to add something to the inside edge of that photo. It's really bothering me that it's a little bit, not that it's off center because it needs to be where it is, but it just needs to have a little bit of something dark on the inside corner of that photo. I decided to find or see if I could find any more of these stars, but I couldn't figure out where to put it yet, so I'm just going to put it aside for the moment. Maybe. Stick this present down. Just going through and making sure that anything that got like damaged when I pulled up the other bits and pieces that were on here before gets covered up so that there's no like torn paper or anything anywhere. So that's kind of where I'm methodically working my way through this layout. Rearranging the letters so that they look nice and staggered. Okay, so I have a few word bits here that I was like thinking I needed to add, but as soon as I go to put the snuggle up down, I'm like, no, I want to put that tag there instead. So I grabbed something else to cover the face, and then I pulled that tag. It's perfect with that bow. You just need to make sure that the bow tilts a little bit so that it doesn't cover up the. I also like the pop of black and white that that bow gave because the photos are obviously in black and white. Okay, I like the way that that looks with the tag widening the footprint of the photo, but I'm going to take this blue that sort of matches that tag and is nice and deep, and I'm going to put this this paper strip under here as well, and I think that that makes it feel a little bit more balanced and also gives it a little bit of a dark pop that it needed because everything was kind of feeling a little bit washed out. So I like that, just slightly, add slightly a little bit to it, not too much of a paper strip. So then I'm going to go back and rearrange these stars. I decided to use 2 pink ones, 2 blue ones, so that I would have a nice even number and a nice pattern. So I'm going to pull this pink one up too. Then of course I want it to go pink, blue, or blue, pink, because we can't have the same colors next to each other. That would not work. And then that is it for this video. I think that's about all I'm going to do. So if you enjoyed it, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. There's a link in the description box below to the blog post for this page if you're interested in the credits and the still images. And I will see you next time. All right, thank you.